I'd like to start by asking you, for people who have no idea what The Daughter's about or The Wild Duck, a little bit about the plot, the setup.
The movie, like a lot of psychological thrillers, begins with the return of a character that's been away from this small town somewhere in the world for 18 years. So his return sets in train a series of kind of revelations and discoveries that threaten to tear apart the two families at the core of the movie that have a link to each other, which is the core of the revelation that happens later in the movie that I won't tell you about.
Now tell me what it was about the original text written by Henrik Ibsen that really hooked you and made you think, right, well, first off, I'm going to direct the stage show just to begin with.
I was looking for material and I found this, well, I'd already read it before, but I reminded myself of this extraordinary play by Henrik Ibsen called The Wild Duck. It had at the core of this extraordinary exploration of families under duress and a family that is dealing with a revelation that could threaten to tear it apart. And it's a beautiful, life-affirming story about these people who struggle against the truth, with the truth, trying to define what the truth means in a relationship and what it means to keep love alive even when things get complicated. And then the producers of the movie, Jan Chapman and Nicole O'Donoghue, came to me and said, "Do you want to make a movie of it?" And I said, yes. And then I had the job of trying to figure out how it would work as a movie.
Awesome. And what did it feel like sitting there or standing there looking up and seeing Geoffrey Rush, Sam Neill acting out? It must have been pretty cool.
I don't think that, I think that from the outside, people always go, what was it like working with Tilda Swinton? Or, and you go, actually, some of the mystery, you lose some of the mystery of being a fan of that person as well. Like, I now, if I watch Geoffrey in other movies, now I'm not necessarily just going, isn't that amazing, that thing that he's doing? I'm also going, oh, it's Geoffrey.
Yeah.
So it's
Jeff.
Yeah. It was a huge privilege to work with Geoffrey and Sam and Miranda and Paul Schneider, because they weren't just the extraordinary people that I'd appreciated for a long time in my life in the films and TV shows that they've made, but they're also just such consummate professionals where you then realise why they've been cast in things.
Yeah.
Because they're not just superbly talented, but they're also incredible team players who are able to kind of make your film 100 times better, not just through their performance, but through the way that they're helping you make a set work.
I want to find out what you think of the feedback people have given you about The Daughter when they've seen it.
What's amazing is not when people are talking about the movie, but when people come and say, I had this or that experience in my life. That's the extraordinary bit, where someone goes, I recognised life in that thing that you did. They're not making a kind of qualitative judgment of the product that you've made. They're just going, I had that experience in my life and that reminded me of that thing that happened to me and that reminded me of that. And they're talking about the characters and they're talking about the story. That's the kind of conversation I love to have.